Well, hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Canning Nana. So today we are going to do my famous meatballs, Italian Sicilian meatballs like my mom made. Very, very basic, easy recipe. So what I like to use is ground beef. I don't have any pork or veal, which is the real Sicilian way, but I don't have any of that today. I have a pound and a half of 80% lean ground beef and then a pound of 93% organic grass-fed ground beef in here. The reason for the two is I like fatty ground beef because it gives it a lot of flavor, but I also like to put lean ground beef in there because it goes a longer way and it binds it together really well and it makes a really delicious meatball. So if you like making your meatballs with pork, veal, and ground beef, which is the normal way to do it, you can just do equal amounts. A pound of each meat is normally how I do it. But if you can't find those, which is really hard to find sometimes, the veal especially, ground pork is much easier. Just use a pound of each, and that's perfectly fine, and you can use the rest of this recipe as follows. So I will use about 5 eggs, depending on how wet it is. So you want this recipe to be really wet in your hands. When you're forming them, you'll know how wet it is. It needs to be the mixture when you're mixing it needs to be a very wet recipe, not dry at all. Otherwise, your meatballs are going to become very dry, and you don't want that. So these are nothing like the meatballs that you will get in most Italian chain restaurants, and they're not going to be like the quote Italian meatballs that you will get in your grocery store. Most of those places don't even put egg in your mixture, in your meat, but I do. So if you want a good Italian meatball recipe, try this. If you don't like it, let me know, but also let me know if you do like it, because these are the best, you guys. And we're actually going to have these for lunch. So I love doing that. Okay, so I have about a half to 3/4 of a cup of parsley, chopped parsley, and this is the Italian curly leaf parsley. If you like the Italian flat leaf parsley, that's fine too. I've always used the curly leaf parsley, at least in this recipe. It just gives it a little bit more flavor, and I love that. And I have chopped 3 cloves of elephant garlic for this recipe. I may end up using a little bit more. We'll see how the first meatball comes out to flavor, but we'll see. And then I think I put in here about a cup, a little bit over a cup of Italian breadcrumbs, but I'm also going to add some of my Italian seasoning, which has oregano in it and basil. I do have fresh basil too. You can also add fresh basil in this. If you want to. I'm going to be making a pasta tonight that is going to have fresh basil, so I'm not going to do that. But you can use that if you'd like. Okay, so I'm heating my oil, and the oil is very important to this recipe, just as all of these ingredients are important. I use corn oil. You can see in the thumbnail of this that I'm using Mazola. You can use any brand that you like. But to get this recipe correct, it needs to be corn oil. So vegetable oil will change the flavor of this whole thing. Corn oil gives it a very unique flavor, and they come out tasting properly. So if you use any other kind of oil for this, it's going to taste different. So just so you know, I know a lot of people use avocado oil or canola oil or vegetable oil. Just know I've used vegetable oil for a lot of years when I was out of corn oil for this, and it does taste different. It just really makes a difference. So I always tell people when they're using my recipe to use corn oil for one, and fresh parsley. Those are the secrets to my recipe. Also, my Italian seasoning makes a whole big difference. But if you just have a blend of oregano and some dried basil, some dried parsley, and some of my Laurie's seasoned pepper and a little bit of the Laurie's seasoned salt, you're good to go. And if you'd like some of my Italian seasoning, just contact me and we can set you up with some of that. Okay, so I'm going to start mixing these together. First I'm going to add some of the egg, and then the parsley, some of the breadcrumbs, and the garlic. So I just want to show you I just added 3 eggs. So this video is going to be a little bit different. I just went to put my phone in my holder, and I realized I'm using my brand new phone instead of my old phone, so my phone does not fit in my tripod holder. So this is going to be a little bit tricky to do unless I get somebody to hold my phone. So I'm going to go along and show you each ingredient as I do it, and as I'm forming the meatballs, I will get somebody in here to hold the phone for me. Okay, so I want to show you, this is what it looks like after adding 3 eggs. So you want to completely mix in your ingredients before you add the next ingredient. So those 3 eggs, you can see, or I can tell, it's wet, but it is a little bit dry. So you want this completely wet. So I'm probably, after adding the breadcrumbs and the parsley and the garlic and the seasonings, I'm probably going to wind up using more than 5 eggs. So we'll see. Okay, I'm going to add the garlic in next, and some of the seasoning, salt and pepper. We have Watkins pepper, which I've got meat on my hands here, so I'm going to be washing this. Watkins pepper, I am a Watkins consultant. You can use the link below. Watkins is on sale this month, you guys. So if you guys like the black pepper, actually all of the seasonings and stuff are on sale, and it's a really good sale. So if you guys like Watkins seasoning, it's one of the best. I've been using it for 41 years. Yeah, go to my website and purchase some Watkins seasoning and pepper. It will last you, and it's so good. Okay, next ingredient. So the garlic, some of my Italian seasoning right there, and the salt and the pepper. And they go. Okay, getting ready to mix them in. Okay, that's all mixed in, so we are going to add some of the Italian seasoning. Okay, you want a good amount in there. And then I'm going to add some of the parsley, but not all of it yet. And then 1 more egg. So I did add another egg already. I'm down to 1 more, so I've added 4 already. So we're going to add that one and then mix in. And what you want to do is when you add it in there, you want to fold from the corners and just fold all of those ingredients in there and over so that all of this gets mixed into the meat and not stuck on your fingers. And always use wet hands whenever you're mixing your meat so that the meat doesn't stick to your hands. Okay, there's the meat with all of the ingredients except for the breadcrumbs all mixed in. And it looks like there's almost enough of the parsley in there. I'm going to add a little bit more parsley and probably 3 more eggs after I mix in the breadcrumbs. We'll see. Okay, breadcrumbs are added, and I added a little bit more of the parsley. So I've got, excuse me, I've got 2 more eggs sitting here, so I'm going to go ahead and add those. And then again, fold from all of the sides, all of the corner, and as the egg mixes in there, it will get super easy to all mix together, and this way nothing gets stuck to your hands. Again, wet your hands as you're doing this. Okay, there are my eggs. Just want to show you before I start mixing. Okay, so I just decided I needed more garlic after smelling the meat mixture, and here it is all done. Everything's in there now. But I think it needs a little bit more garlic in there. So I've got 1 more clove of the elephant garlic. I'm going to chop it up really finely, and I'll show you guys that one after I do it. And we're going to add it. Okay, so here's the garlic chopped up. I'm going to go ahead and put it into our mixture and bring it back. Okay, so here we are again. So I do not recommend using elephant garlic for this. Just use your regular Italian garlic, whatever garlic that you have. Elephant garlic is very, very mild. I don't normally use it, but I had to purchase it when I was doing a mystery shop. So That's what I have on hand, other than my minced garlic that I keep in my refrigerator, the watered, I have it in water right now. I might put some of that in here, but that's all I have on hand, and I really want fresh ingredients in the meatballs, so that's why I'm using the elephant garlic. But I don't recommend it, but that's why I put so much in there too, because I want a garlic flavor, and because the elephant garlic is so mild, so I put an extra in there. So that's why it looks like it's a lot. It'll come out fine, trust me. So I also have an extra egg that I'm going to put into this because I want the mixture really wet when I start putting these, forming them into meatballs and then putting them in the oil.
3.
Okay, so I've wet my hands, and I just want to show you guys, this is what it looks like when it's the right consistency. It's nice and wet, but movable. So that's how you want it. You don't want it too sticky, and then you just roll it, form it in your hands like that. And I don't do balls, I do kind of flat, so they cook easier. So you just grab, and once you start doing this, you'll know the right amount to do. And then palm of your hand, flatten, form, and just put on a platter. It's that simple. Okay, here are the formed meatballs. So I made 30 meatballs in a matter of 5 minutes. So really simple. You can make whatever size you want. And just a tip, so I'm not making a pot of sauce today. I'm using something completely different with our meal tonight. So when I make a pot of sauce, after this right here, and you fry your meatballs, then you would put them in your sauce. But you would only cook them, you'd brown them on both sides, and then put them in your sauce to finish cooking with your sauce. And then the meatballs just absorb all of that goodness when you're making your sauce. And they're absolutely delicious. Another thing you can do is take some of the meat before you form it into meatballs, and just make little teeny pieces out of it and just put it into your sauce, and you'd have a meat sauce. If you're going to can your sauce, you don't want to put your meat in there. You can put some meat pieces in there, very small, and you can can it that way as long as you pressure can it, and it comes out really good. As long as you don't put meatballs in there. The meatballs completely change the texture when you can them. So it's not something that you want to do. There are density issues as well. So you can cut pieces of meatball and put it in your sauce, perfectly fine. But don't can your whole meatballs. It's just not a good idea. And really, it completely changes the flavor. So I freeze my meatballs still in food saver bags, so which is probably what I'm going to be doing with this, and I do freeze them in some sauce. So that's how I make my meat sauce too, with the same kind of meat mixture, unless I'm making like a bolognese or something like that. Ragu is completely different. So this is how I make basic meat sauce with this mixture. Okay, let's go over to the stove and start frying these goodies up so we can eat. Okay, our oil is on, so we're going to start putting some of the meatballs in there. And I'm going to turn up the heat, because once you put the meatballs in there, the oil is going to cool down pretty quickly. And we are going to cook them on one side until they're brown, and then turn them over and cook them on the other side until they're fully cooked, because again, I'm not putting these in any sauce today. If I were, I would just be browning on both sides and then putting them into a pot of sauce. So this oil is pretty deep because I'm cooking them completely. Okay, so this is what they look like. Those are the original ones I put in there, and see how much they shrink up. So that's one of the reasons that I used the half 93% ground beef, because if you use all of the fatty ground beef, these are just going to shrink up and you're just going to have small meatballs. So I like to half and half it. This way I get a bigger size meatball. There's just so much shrinkage. The flavor, yes, is there, but there's so much shrinkage with the fattier ground beef. So I always like to put a leaner ground beef in there. Usually it's a ground sirloin that I like to use, but the 93% is a really good ground beef, and it's pretty much a ground sirloin. But usually I'll go and get a sirloin and have the butcher grind it for me, and we'll use that. But this is what I had on hand today. So I'm going to finish these up, and then I'll show you the finished product. And as these cook, so like I said, these are the original ones. As these cook, go ahead and add more meatballs to your pan, because now you have room. Because your meatballs are just sitting there. And this is a real small pan. Usually I have a big one because I make 100 meatballs at a time. But today I'm only making 30. And stay tuned for our dinner video. That's going to be a whole different video, whole different recipe I've never shared with you guys before. Okay, one more thing, well, two more things actually. Always have the water ready and paper towels or a clean towel ready to wash your hands, because when you're making this, you are constantly going to be washing your hands, trust me. And the other thing is you want the bubbles on here, and when they're ready, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but they get pretty crispy on the outside, and then they're not crispy when you take them out. So let's look. Let's have a look. Oh, there's a lot of fat on that one. Yeah, you're going to get fat on these, so you're just going to wipe it away. But look at how nice and brown. Look at that meatball. That is perfect. So we're going to take him out and put him on a platter and let him rest. And then I'll cut it open and we'll see what we have and taste test. Okay, you guys, so here are the meatballs so far. We have done a little bit over half, and they're in the pan right there cooking. So I'm going to cut this one open and show you guys what it looks like. They smell amazing. But this is what it looks like inside. And there is your meatball. Doesn't look dry at all. There you go. That's what it looks like inside. Okay, I'm going to cut it and do a taste test. Look at that steaming meatball. Steaming. Beautiful. Actually, I'm going to cut a smaller piece because it looks really hot. Okay. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. See, it's dense, but it's very light. And it's so good with sauce, you guys. Mm-hmm. That is so good. So good. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to have the other piece. Absolutely perfect, you guys. I wish I had some sauce to dip it in. I really do. But absolutely perfect. So it's because they just came out of the oil. A little bit crispy on the outside. Heavenly in the inside. Perfect. Absolutely light and fluffy. Absolutely perfect. Perfect. Okay, you guys. So that is it. I'm going to finish doing these and get my things together for the sauce that we're having with this, which is made out of just tomatoes and a different kind of sauce. So I will see you on the other side of this video. Let me know what you thought of this, and thank you guys for coming along. We are trying to reach 17,000, so please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And please comment. We like to give away things here, so we're going to give away some Italian seasoning, a sample of that. And comment the word of the day, which will be Italian meatballs, in the comment section below, and you'll be entered for a chance to win our Italian seasoning. So thank you for coming along and watching, and I will see you guys soon.